Hello everybody, Justin here, and today I'm very excited to do an unboxing for Arkham Horror, the role-playing game. This is the Hungering Abyss starter deck. So I'm just going to read a little bit of the byline here on the back, but this is a beginner-friendly, learn-as-you-play starter set where players take on the role of talented and bold investigators caught up in the mystery behind the lurking dread that has fallen over the city of Arkham in the height of the 1920s. We know a few people here. Here, let's go into this one just while we can look at the box. But we know a few of these people here. If you're a big fan of Arkham Horror, the card game, which we are, we have Lita Chandler, we have the Ghoul Priest, we have Carolyn Fern, Will Yorick, we have Rita Young, and I think that's Minty Fan under the mask there. But I'm pretty excited to check this out. I will say this was sent to me by Fantasy Flight, Asmodee, and Edge Studios. This was sent to me to do some content on, a review and an unboxing, and also some gameplay. So you can look forward to all of that coming out on the channel. But I wanted to do this video here because while I was cracking into this, I was like, there's a good chunk of stuff in this box, and it, honestly, it piqued my interest. So we're going to dive in and check it out. So with this, this is a starter set, so as I said, it's like a learn-as-you-play type thing, and it also can play up to 5 players and 1 game master. So this is a role-playing game, not like a card game or like a board game like all the other Arkham stuff. This is a role-playing game, much akin to Dungeons & Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, World of Darkness, that kind of stuff that you might have played or have seen us play on our channel as well. Alright, shall we? Shall we start the unboxing process? We have multiple cameras to go through here, so we have a good variety of stuff. All right. Wow. Before anyone gets their hopes up, I could not find an ad sheet. It seems that ad sheets have gone the way of the dodo, which I'll admit, you know, makes me a little bit sad, but c'est la vie, right? We don't always get to be advertised after we buy product anymore. Rats. All right. So, I think what we'll do is we'll take out all this stuff. I'll do it all in this this angle here. We can check it all out, and we can then also take a bigger look at everything as we get there to see what all this is. So first things first, this looks like the campaign guide. Not in the same campaign guide as, I'm going to just go through them. I'm not going to be focused on anything, so it's unlikely we're going to see any spoilers in here. But this is like the Dungeon Master guide for the Game Master who's going to be running this. This is also, from what I could tell while I was going through, it says that this is a learn as you play. So there's actually no rule book. Like, this has everything. I imagine it's going to kind of evolve as you play to kind of just teach you the game, which is interesting. And I'm curious to see how that goes as we dive in and play it. We have the pre-made character sheets, all based on some of our favorite investigators from Arkham Horror, the card game, and also Rita Young is here too. I know that there is some people who don't like to play with pre-made characters, and there's no way, I think I saw something in here about being able to make your own characters in like the actual like official release version of the game. But for this as being a starter set, this is designed for people who don't know and just want to pick it up and play. So this is why they have these 5 characters here that you can play with. And we'll check all these out as we get into them in greater detail in a different camera here. But we can see all this stuff that exists within this box. This is, these are the maps, which we will open up as well and look through. But it comes with, it looks like 2, it comes with 3 maps. Whole. See that? That's a whole. So we'll check out some of these maps as well. Arkham Woods. Okay, that's kind of neat. Okay. Well, we'll check out those maps in a few. Also, I normally don't talk about the boxes, right? But this is one of the nicest boxes I've seen in some of these products. You can kind of see it here, but it's like angled like this, so it's easy to reach it and grab your stuff, so it's unlikely to cause any problems. How much replayability does a starter set have for one of these? I don't know. But it's just one of those things that I think like the presentation and quality of the material is all really really nice, especially in comparison to what we see from like the investigator expansions from Arkham Horror the card game, which is the main perspective that I talk about on this channel. If you are new here, hi, if you're new here, I'm Justin from Playing Board Games. And we mostly play Arkham Horror the card game on this channel, but we like all Arkham Files products. Looks like there's some handouts here. And this is a screen, which has a bunch of relevant rules on the inside. So that's kind of sick. A trauma table, investigator quick reference, injury table. Okay. All right. Again, we're going to check all this stuff out in greater detail once we get there. But we have some punch tokens, which look like we have some night gaunts on this side. We have our investigators. We have some NPCs that you may recognize from a variety of Arkham Horror, the card game stuff, and other Arkham Files things. We have some, looks like just some random ghouls. We have some generic NPCs. Okay. We have another punch sheet here. This has some stuff. There is some like puzzles that are included in this that allows your players to try and, you know, solve them. It looks like sliding puzzles, so that's kind of neat. Oh yeah, it looks like, yeah, you can actually put them in this, and I'm going to wager this is double-sided and is brown on that side. So yeah, you can punch out the center. Let's do this. So look at it. It wants to jump out right now. But you can punch out the center, and then you put these. You'll mix them up and give them, and your players will have to actually solve it like a sliding puzzle. I think that's pretty neat. Again, with RPGs, you think board gamers are opinionated? RPG players are somehow even more opinionated than board gamers. And I know that there's a lot of things, I've seen it in our Discord about, it's not everyone's cup of tea to have handouts like this for it. I personally really like it, and a lot of the players that are less enfranchised in tabletop games do like it. So I think that this is a product that isn't there for, at least from my initial read of it, this is not as much for enfranchised players. This is for people who are interested in checking out a new system, especially in a universe that is like Lovecraft inspired, but not necessarily full on. It's starting to take a shape that's kind of its own thing. Especially like when Arkham Horror the card game came out, the Arkham Files product started to get more of an identity of its own beyond just what was like Arkham Horror 2nd Edition and Eldritch Horror. So I think that this is capitalizing and further expanding on that world, which I think is pretty cool, and that's what this product is for, is to get another set of eyes, players who might not before have been into this world that may be new to them. All right, we have what looks like some cool item cards with an antique lab. We don't have that. That's not a Winchester Model 20. That's a shotgun from Arkham. But yeah, so one thing as well about the Arkham Files is that they actually reuse a bunch of art from old things. If you've played a lot of the the card game, you know, you recognize all these cards. Okay, that's kind of neat. Once again, these are handouts, and it looks like these are story cards. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, they're like police reports with some notes on the back from notepads. That's kind of cool. I mean, this is kind of stuff that first time RPG players go nuts for. I would know because it happens a lot when we do that on the channel. Yeah, so I think it's cool to have these kind of things, that these are spell cards or ability cards, which is kind of neat. Okay, keeping this going, we have it's taped up. So let's open this. I should have grabbed my scissors. I usually have scissors for my unboxing videos on standby, but I forgot. So bear with me. I don't have nails because I have a bad habit of picking them, so it's really hard. All right, it's dice. Look at that. Wow. They're dice, all right. I like the color. Green is really nice. So these are also probably dice. Okay. Honestly, I like this color so much, I kind of want to use it for when we record Arkham. 4, 6, looks like there's 12. All right, what color are these? Gray. Oh, I love the colors. These are just dice. Like, there's nothing special about them. There's no symbols. You can use whatever dice you want. But it looks like it's kind of like a D6 system, or at least like the mechanics of the game are going to utilize a D6 system. I love the colors. The colors are great. The green and the gray. All really cool stuff. All right. Keep this going. We got some more handouts with a secret code and writing on it. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, so there's going to be some cipher work that the players are going to need to do. That's kind of cool. Someone stepped on it, and there is a little note on the back. Okay. That's probably just a reference for you as the game master to know what they are. And then it looks like this is our last bit in the game, unless there's something hidden underneath the insert. Let's check. There's nothing. That's okay. We usually only is like legacy style games. All right. And it looks like these are NPC sheets. So these are for like the NPCs in the game. So you as the game master have an easy thing that you can look up and check out. They are different though. So like there's Lita. Agnes Baker is an NPC. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Some tentacles. The Ghoul Priest. Bob the Ghoul. You love to see it. Okay. Just a bunch of different sheets as well as they level up. And then Peter Warren. Okay. So this is everything that comes in the starter set. Where is that campaign guide? As I said, we want to check out all this stuff kind of how I want to see kind of get like a basis for how this all does its stuff. So just bear with me in this view as we kind of just go through it. All right. I'm just trying to see if there says something about how many sessions this gives. Choosing a game master. It's going to be me, I'll tell you that right now. So, okay. Okay, alright. The most important rule of all, and I think this is a good rule, is that everyone playing the game should be having a good time. And I was actually going to... I was going to say make sure that you as the game master are having fun, but they actually say everyone playing the game, including you, should be having a good time. This is actually, I think that's something that's very important, especially for like first-time game masters, or even long-time game masters or dungeon masters for Dungeons & Dragons. It's very important to make sure that you as the DM are also having a good time. So don't forget about yourself while you're doing this. All right. It looks like there are 3 acts, and each act has a scene. So this is something this is how it works. So there's these things, there's like this philosophy in like role-playing games that the world's like a sandbox and you can play. The reality is there's also like more kind of like linear adventures. They're like called like adventure paths in Pathfinder or something we did. I think they even like Curse of Strahd, for example, in Dungeons & Dragons, where there is like a world that the players can explore, but overall there's like a linear structure. I mean, not so much for Strahd, but there's like a structure that the players follow. So this one is like, as a starter kit, it's designed to be super on the rails. So what I imagine is that there's going to be less discovering. There's going to be less like discovering, there's like a mystery, like, okay, let me start again. There's going to be less of a thing where like the investigators can do whatever they want, but rather that these scenes, I imagine, are going to be tailored to points to the next scene that the players need to go to. But in theory, especially with the puzzle props and all of the handouts and the way that the combat's going to work, is that each scene is going to be designed to be more rewarding. That's my theory working through just reading all of this. So... the scene names. Let's get our story straight. We're not alone. Friend or foe. Okay, so that sounds like... I mean, this should be no surprise if you have looked at the box art and you have played Arkham Horror, the card game. Act 1 is pretty much going to follow, I imagine, the lines of The Gathering. Act 2, so this is the first core set scenarios in Arkham Horror, the card game. That Act 1 is going to follow around The Gathering, Act 2 is Midnight Mask, and Act 3 is The Devourer Below. So that's kind of neat. I understand why. This is like it's a good 3-part story to get introduced, and I'm hoping and optimistic that they make other stuff that explores stuff that is outside of the card game, because I think that would be really neat. Alright, why don't we open up a map? Let's open up a map. Let's do that. I mean, we also got to look at the character sheets and all that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Alright, give me a few to just put some stuff to the side. Alright, the maps are the thing that I'm most curious about. Alright, we have our handouts, we have our stuff. I don't want us to open up this one. I think we'll open up what I assume is going to be the first map that we play, which is Joe Diamond's house. Everybody loves Joe Diamond, except Joe Diamond, unfortunately. Alright. So there's the upper floor. There's a basement as well. Okay, upper stairs. That's kind of fun. So then we have like our little Joe Diamond like token. He's like, I'm Joe Diamond. I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking dinner. And then he goes upstairs. Okay. Goes to his bedroom. He has a little bath, right? Okay. So like it's a pretty basic, like, I mean, like the map design is really nice. Like I'm a big sucker for like kind of like the modern top-down stuff, especially like in Mansions of Madness. So it's cool to see more of that. We have Peter Warren's house on the other side, so the maps are double-sided. So then I imagine there's probably 2 per? There's probably 2 maps per act. We have St. Mary's Hospital. And on the other side, we have a graveyard. That's spooky. That's spooky. Okay. That's kind of fun. I'm excited to see how the combat system works, because once again, I'm not going to be able to know that until I play it. But as I said, there's going to be gameplay and a review on the channel coming up in the next few months. So I'm going to try to get them as early as possible, but role-playing games take time. And they take people. So we're going to get that organized and get that for all of you. Arkham Woods on this side. And we have a ritual site on the other side. Very Arkham. Very Arkham. You love to see it. Okay, let's check out a character sheet. And for that, we're going to come into this camera. Alright, who do we want to check out? I mean, Joe Diamond's house, let's check out him. Alright, so we got Joe Diamond. Creak. Alright. So, it looks like there's a bunch of stats. Agility, athletics, wits, presence, intuition, resolve, knowledge, melee combat, range combat, and lore. So you can see that there's these stats here. I imagine, if I'm going to wager, is that in order to succeed on an agility test, you would need to roll like that number or higher, because it says 5+. Okay. Looks like there's these little spots here, which I saw in the guide. I'll just get there while I was perusing through and flipping through right now. Yeah, you can see it right here. It looks like players are going to put dice there to resolve stuff with. I'm not too sure what that means. So we have some knacks. We have some equipment. We have a quick reference, which the Dungeon Master also has on the inside of their little panel, their screen. So you can see the quick reference for that here as well. Okay. And then we have leveling options and insight. Interesting. All right, let's check out this insight thing. I'm going to just open it up and put it on another character, but you can kind of also not really read it, but like it's there as well. Let me read it for all of you. So I'm reading this insight here. You gain insight up to the maximum of your start every game session. You can spend insight in the following ways. After performing a successful complex action, you can spend 1 insight to add 1 additional success to the results. Interesting. Performing a reaction to a dodge, block, resist, you can spend an insight to do advantage. Same with a complex action, you can do advantage. Spend 1 or more insight to introduce a narrative element into an ongoing scene. Example, including finding a scalpel in a tense situation to defend yourself with, or introducing a pre-existing relationship with an NPC. Okay, because you can use your insight to like influence the story in your favor, which I think is good. I think that's really good. It's very nice to have the ability as a player to just be like, I'm lost, I'm stuck, I need something. Here's my tool that I can do that with. It keeps the game moving, which is most important because it's also super important, I think, for the DM to also kind of have that. The last one here is insight can also spend to avoid effects of certain traumas when listed. Okay. So it looks like they have a 2 maximum for insight. And you gain it at the start of each session. Okay. Leveling up happens twice during the adventure. The game master will indicate when you gain a level. The first time you get to choose 1 skill and improve it once. The second time, you may improve 2 skills once each time. You cannot improve a skill better than 3+. So yeah, the lower the skill, the better it is. Okay. And then the second time, so you can either do 2 skills or you can gain a new ability, which is Gumshoe. Okay. All right. It's neat. And on the back, it also has your story so far. Okay. Well, I think that's like everything of note. Like, again, I don't want to go too deep into this. There's also all like the Ravenous Ghouls and Night Gaunts are double-sided, probably because they each have like levels that scale. Oh no, it's like 1, 2. Man, I'm not sure what that means, but we'll figure it out when we get there. But this is like all of the content that exists within this Hungering Abyss starter pack. A huge thank you to Edge Studios and Asmodee and Fantasy Flight for, sending me the copy of this. I'm very excited to play it. I was planning on purchasing my own. So this was going to happen no matter what. It's just, it was just very nice of them to send it for me to be able to make this content for you. So I hope you're looking forward to this, and I hope you are excited to check it out on the channel. I'm Justin from Playing Board Games again. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing and seeing everything that came inside this little package. Huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the channel. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see y'all very soon. And as always, a GG's.